If you are a neighbor facing home foreclosure, raise your hand. If you are a neighbor facing home foreclosure, raise your hand. Hands down. Someone in your house looking for a job, raise your hand. Raise your hand real high. Anybody in your house in debt, raise your hand. Raise your hand. A member of your family in student loan debt, raise your hand. Be seated. In some sense, we laugh it off because we've adjusted to the misery of it all. You're one family member away from homelessness or joblessness or in debt and can't keep your child in school. That is a state of emergency. I appeal to Detroit in a very special way today. Don't let these conditions break your spirit. But there's some facts you ought to know about Detroit. All of this greatness that we exalted. There are about 200,000 Detroiters unemployed today. 200,000.
All right.
There are 90,000 vacant lots of abandoned houses in Detroit today. In those neighborhoods, our young people can be tearing off boards, putting in windows, and landscaping.
Yep. All right.
Becoming painters, brick masons, and glazers. In Detroit today, in all of its greatness, there's not a single national chain grocery store in New York, in Detroit.
Yep.
There's not one retailer national store in Detroit. That means most neighborhood stores cost you more than it should cost because you can't get to another store called Food and Price Desert. See, Food and Price Desert. That means those who have the least pay the most. Remember when they cut public transportation, lay off public drivers, and raise the fare. Folk on welfare cannot own a car legally. So if you can't get private transportation and can't afford public, how can you get the welfare to work? In Detroit, 90% of all children, 90% on free food lunch. That means they're poor. Some need glasses and dental care. That means they need breakfast and lunch as well, and dinner as well. In Detroit, highest car tax in America. In Detroit. Met with Jim officials a few days ago. As important to get by a predator company. The sales cars at 19% interest officially. It's the government said to them, in order to keep this government GM deal, you must have perfect credit to get a car at 7%. Even the banks don't have perfect credit. You are forced to pay by law predator prices for a car in Detroit. The highest car house insurance in America is in Detroit. If a honeybee, there are no brains on a honeybee. There are no doctor honeybee, no reverend honeybee, no judge honeybee. But why the honeybees keep on making other honeybees? Why are there no slum honeybee hives? What the honeybees know, Bishop, that we don't know? Honeybees, when they get their nectar from a flower, they drop pollen when they pick up nectar, and they feed the flower to them. So honeybees have enough sense to feed the flower that they rob. If a honeybee can feed the flower it robs, then teachers and police and firemen who get their nectar from Detroit to buy their homes and pay taxes and live in Detroit. change. Now, this last point is said to this. Bishop saying, by the feel that going on, you can't let these forces break your spirit. That's where religion kicks in. For you win the victory. And the Bible is full of stories where the minority plus God beat the majority. The minority plus God always win. The majority without God always lose. I'm really trying to say something, Detroit. When you got 567,000 registered voters, and both 67,000 you've given up the ghost. Detroit, don't surrender your spirit. We march too much. We bled too much. We died too young. You fought to get the vote in Selma. You fought to free Nelson Mandela. You fought to bail out Katrina. Detroit do not live below your privilege. Say Detroit, you know, if Detroit votes 400,000, you change the course of Michigan. Say Detroit, if we vote 400,000, we have the numbers and the need and the power. There is no George Wallace to stop us. There is no Bull Connor to stop us. There are no dogs biting us. If we stand tall and fight back and don't stop believing, good things will come our way. I'll urge you on this last note, 6 or 7,000. We want 400,000 votes out of Detroit come November. And nobody has the right to do less than their best. And when we do our best, good things come our way. Now, I want to congratulate these ministers who represent a sound theology. Say spirit, body, and mind. For all you spirit-filled people, the spirit without the body is a ghost. Spirit without the body is a ghost. The body without the spirit is a cadaver. Spirit and body is life, and the mind tells you where to go. I represent a faith embraces mind, body, and spirit. And through it all, we'll keep hope alive. I grew up in Greenville, and I let you go. I was about 5 years old. My mom was babysitter for the Winans. Old sister stayed down the street, Miss Mays, and she died. And so at that time, we used to bring the bundles out to the house and put the flowers up on the door. And the hearse came, and I didn't know who was in it. I had never been acquainted with death at that age. We went to the house, my mother was crying. And I didn't know I was upset because Mom was upset. But I saw Miss Mays in the casket. I said, "Wake up!" Mama said, "Shh." I said, "She's dead." I thought Mama didn't understand that she used to sleep. Time Mama left the house, she always did sleep. I thought she'd just sleep again. I said, "Wake up." She said, "Don't talk." She said, "She's dead." I said, "Mama said she got eyes." She said, "She's dead." I said, "Mama, is she dreaming?" She said, "No, baby, she can't dream. She's dead. If you got eyes and ears and nose and a mouth and hands and feet and stop dreaming, you're dead." So I got eyes, I got nose, I got feet, I got a mind. It's time to come alive. I fall down, I get up again. I fall down, I get up again. I slip up, mess up, trip up. But the ground is no place for a champion. And still I rise. Nothing is too hard for God. Stand up, Detroit. Show the way. Stand up, Detroit. Show the way. So I will use my mind, my vote. I will keep hope alive. I will keep hope alive. I'm a little tired, but I feel like going on. I feel like going on.